it was just to give you some information on what we as ARIMNet2 consortium and others are going to do in the future. And well, first of all, I would like to thank you very much for what I have heard today, at least, and what you've presented, because I think it's very important to give new ideas, to prepare the future, but also to give a kind of, I would say, energy, because it's important to know why and for whom we are working. And I think for me, listen to you today was a very important experience, because I saw that those people are really willing to work hard. So it gives me some, I would say, yes, some energy to continue. So thanks for that. Yes, but now I have to think, okay, it is, I mean, we need to go ahead and to find some new activities and how to do it. So ARIMNet2 is finishing next year's, at the end of 2017. So we already have some activities ongoing, but the objective and the rationale for ARIMNet2 will be still valid after the end of next year, because remember I told you that the objectives of ARIMNet were to create a community of research for the Mediterranean, to coordinate national research program, and so to consolidate institutional cooperation between funding agencies, research organizations, to implement principles of co-decision, co-funding, and co-constructions among those organizations. So that will be still valid at the end of ARIMNet2. We will not be able to consider that we did all the job. I mean, job well still. So what, and you know that the type of action that we can implement inside kind of activities are call for research proposal, of course including innovation and end users involvement, and I've get some very smart ideas from your presentations, networking of researchers and training. So now we have to think, and that's going to be our job in the last year of ARIMNet2, to prepare the futures. What kind of incentive, what kind of funds, what kind of instrument we could implement. So an idea, we're going to work on this idea, especially with Jean-François. Maybe he will be able to say some words about that, because I think he will be very much involved in this, is to use EU funds that are specially focused on networking and mobility, training, and specifically maybe some young researchers. So there is some EU instruments such as the Marie Curie program, for instance, one dealing on research and innovation staff exchange, another innovating training networks. So we consider and we are going to study the way we can use those funds from the European Commission to see if we can do something for a Mediterranean Young Researchers Network or something like that. And Jean-François, you mentioned that we could also see how we could consider to use funds from International Foundation for Science, Ford Foundation, or Fulbright program. So, don't know if you want to say some word about that. No, or you can do that afterward. Okay. Then I should tell you some words about PRIMA, because now, for the moment, it is really what constitutes the future for ARIMNet2. Maybe you've heard about that, did you? Or do you have, some of you? Can you read those, you read those of you? Okay, not that much. So, PRIMA stands for Partnership for Research and Innovation in the Mediterranean Area. Very briefly, I would say that it is a super ARINet, something like ARINet, but multiplied by 10 or maybe more. But it is the same idea. That means that it is ministries of research and funding organizations that join together in order to put money and to draw together an implementation plan. We have things to do, and we can do that. So the main features of this initiative is that it is a large initiative in terms of policy level involvement, because it is a high level policy. I mean that the coordinator of this initiative is the Italian Ministry of Research, and the Italian ministry is personally involved in supporting this program. I mean, she is very much willing to succeed in this. It's a lady, Mrs. Giannini, the Italian Ministry of Research. The countries, more or less 20 countries all around the Mediterranean, have been discussed around for 44 years now. The idea emerged 4 years ago about the topics. At the very beginning, it was really something. We need to do something for the Med, but we don't know exactly on which topic. It goes from environment to medical issues and so on. But 2 years ago, they decided that the main crucial issues to be addressed in the Med are food systems and water resources. So it was a good news for us, because that was the topics we were working on. So we say, okay. So I've been involved in working in this initiative because of the choice of the topic, food systems and water resources. What is important if it is that it is a 10 years initiative. So it is really a long-lasting. Beside an ARIMNet that is only 3 years, it's something that we can build something more sustainable and long-lasting. Okay. Another element which reflects the size of the initiative is that some countries, I think it's 12 for the moment, have already committed funds. For instance, Italy, of course, they say that during this 10 years initiative, they will commit 50 million euros. That means 50. That means 5 million per year to do different activities like funding research through calls and so on. So France say, okay, we're going to put 40 million per year and so on. Morocco is very much involved also, but at the whole, the total funds committed by the different countries are up to 250 million euros. Okay, that's the national contribution. And you could find more details on the website of Prima if you want to know more. But that's the idea. And those countries, with this common willingness and with the funds they already committed, submit a proposal to the European Commission saying that they want a specific involvement of the Commission to contribute to this program. So it's called an Article 185 in the European jargon. Article 185 of the Treaty of Functioning of the European Union is because those countries ask for a specific application of this specific Article 185 for European Union financial contribution to be given to this consortium. So we are still in a moment where we don't know exactly what will be the decision of the Commission. But the Commission is doing an impact assessment on the proposal. But we are more or less optimistic that we're going to succeed. Then in this case, the Commission will contribute to the funding for the écoulement. So, okay, the country provide a first amount of 250 million euros, and an equal amount will come to a commission. That will make a quite nice fund to do a lot of activities. So, I will not make the list of the activities that will be done, will be implemented in such a program, but you can imagine that, of course, the first activity will be calls for research proposals, but we can have some call for research more devoted to innovation, more to fundamental research, more to with a training component, with different type of things. And I hope that the first activities will be able to be launched in 2018. So what I would like to stress is that for the moment and during the next 18 months, the work programs is under construction. I mean, we are writing for the moment the implementation plan, what we are really going to do in the program. And the job you made during this seminar is part of the way to bring new ideas, because during the next 18 months, ideas are welcome. So we will have probably different kind of events to mobilize stakeholders and so on during different type of events for the 18 months. So what I recommend to you is that you could disseminate the work you have been done here, and in all your countries you have people, generally from the Ministry of Research or from the funding agency, depends on the country, that are participating in PRIMA, and you could also go through them to promote the idea, for instance, that the first call could be a young researcher call. Why not? Young research, a specific call for research focused on young researchers is something that already exists in some countries at the national level. For instance, in France, in ANR, National Agence Nationale de la Recherche, we do have specific calls for young researchers. So I found your idea of doing something like that at the major level as a very good idea, and I think it's really realistic to put this in the agenda of PRIMA. I don't know if it will be the first call, but at least we should have specific call for young researchers in PRIMA. So for the moment, we are still waiting for the decision of the Commission, and I hope it will be positive. So I think that's it. For me, it was the idea. Thank you very much.